This is ABC 7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us. New developments tonight in the investigation into the deadliest mass shooting in American history.
New information coming out about the suspect behind the rampage at a gay nightclub in Orlando and also his wife. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez joins us now live from Orlando with the latest on the investigation. Marcy.
Haley and Scott, just a few blocks from this scene, more than 24 people who were shot here are still hospitalized, several of them still in critical condition, and some now bravely talking about those 3 terrifying hours.
When you laid beside individuals whose lives were brutally taken, the guilt of being alive is heavy.
Today, a heart-wrenching glimpse into the horror inside the Pulse nightclub Sunday morning.
He's shooting everyone that's already dead on the floor, making sure they're dead.
Survivors sharing their stories and mourning for the 49 people who were killed.
I never thought in a million years that my eyes could witness something so tragic. Looking at the souls leaving the bodies of individuals, looking at the killer's machine gun.
And now new insight into the planning of the massacre. The killer's wife, Nuar Mateen, now possibly facing charges. A law enforcement source telling ABC News she may have visited the site of the attack with Omar Mateen in the past and possibly knew what he was planning, though she reportedly claims she tried to talk him out of it.
He appears to have been an angry, disturbed, unstable young man who became radicalized.
This as the FBI investigates claims that Mateen was a regular at gay clubs, including Pulse, for years, and that he used gay dating apps to contact men. One speaking to ABC station KTRK.
When he was first contacted me, he was saying, asking what club, in his words, what clubs are popping and things of that sort, and what good places are to go.
And we're told Mateen may have potentially scouted other locations for the attack, including nearby Disney properties, before deciding to target this nightclub, where you can see investigators are still out here collecting evidence. Haley and Scott, back to you.
And Marcy, what else are you hearing about Mateen's wife's possible involvement?
Well, sources close to the investigation tell ABC News that she was with Mateen when he bought the ammo and a holster. They also say that the couple did go to Disney properties, which are about 30 minutes away from here, but they're still trying to figure out if there's any connection here. We're also being told that investigators have learned Mateen drove himself to this nightclub the night of the attack, and they're still hoping to get more information from Mateen's wife. Haley and Scott.
And Marcy, ABC News sat down with Mateen's father again today. What did he say about the reports that his son used gay dating apps?
Yeah, Scott, he adamantly denies that his son was gay. He says he believes that he may have used the apps and visited gay nightclubs as a part of his research for the attack. We're live in Orlando. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marcy.
Look, we're beginning to learn more about the victims who were killed in the nightclub shooting, their plans, their families, their lives. The 49 victims range in age from 18 to 50. With the horrific details of what happened inside that club, there are many incredible stories of survival. Angel Colon was shot multiple times in so much pain he couldn't escape. Today, he thanked the surgeons and team at Orlando Regional Medical Center for saving his life, and so many others. Another survival, Norman Cassiano, was getting ready to leave the Pulse, the club, when he heard the first gunshots. He says he crawled into a bathroom, but the gunman soon followed him. Cassiano was shot twice.
The only thing I was able to put out with the last few seconds of my phone was, "Mom, Dad, I've been shot. You know, I love you guys."
But for others, those terrifying phone calls or texts were the last contact they had with loved ones. Around the world, there have been powerful tributes to the victims of the Orlando shooting massacre. At the U.S. Embassy this morning in London, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Will and Kate, signed a condolence book, while in Paris, hundreds gathered to show solidarity.
And while authorities continue to investigate why Omar Mateen opened fire at the Pulse nightclub, in Sarasota, hospitals and EMS officials are reviewing their training skills. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo has more. Dwayne.
Well, Haley, not only are local officials continuing to prepare for a man-made or natural disaster, they say they're ready in the event a disaster takes place. An exhausting 2 days for emergency responders in Central Florida. Sarasota County Fire Department Assistant Chief Rod Van Orsdal says their personnel are trained for these types of incidents.
Depending on the number of patients that are involved, we can increase our mass casualty, as we call them, a level response.
Having the capability of treating more than 20 patients, and part of that process is also notifying local hospitals.
They would continue to notify hospitals further and further out and let all the hospitals know. And all of our hospitals have contingency plans for mass casualty events themselves.
Hospitals like Sarasota Memorial are considered a level 2 trauma center, preparing for incidents like this every year, conducting mass casualty incident training by turning parking spaces into beds.
And that includes calling more trauma surgeons in, more emergency physicians in. And we actually deploy a mobile hospital into the parking garage structure directly outside of the emergency department.
A process that emergency medical physician Dr. Joel Gerber says is done in great detail.
We will run through the full protocol from arrival by EMS all the way up to the operating room and definitive care.
Triage tags, which were used in the Orlando shootings, are also an important part of the process.
As our crews go through and assess the patients and determine how critical they are, they take and put one of these triage tags on there that gives the hospital information about what they've determined were the injuries.
Which helps medical personnel like Dr. Gerber to efficiently treat the patient.
So we can determine who needs care more immediately and who can be held back, still under care, but we want to make sure that the right people reach the right treatment in the right time.
A process that can save more lives. Well, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office also has a task force to respond to these types of incidents. Back to you.
Thank you, Dwayne. The Islamic Society of Sarasota and Bradenton has publicly condemned the Orlando attack and is expressing the impact that it has had on our local community. The mosque located on Lockwood Ridge Road near University Parkway has once again opened its doors to anyone with questions or concerns. These actions, they say, are not a reflection of Islam and certainly not the purpose of Ramadan, the holy month, which lasts through July 5th. The society has requested an increase in security from the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office during evening prayer services. One local Muslim expresses fear and frustration that follows these attacks.
Any good work that I feel that the Muslim community does, it's like it's thrown out the window every time something horrific like this happens. It's hard to believe that it's real, you know, and yeah, total disbelief.
The mosque's imam or priest shares his thoughts and describes upcoming community outreach efforts coming up tonight at 6.
A second candlelight vigil on the Suncoast is now planned in remembrance of those who died in Orlando. The candlelight vigil will be held at the Bradenton Riverwalk in the playground area tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Organizers say there will be a group prayer, national anthem, and guest speakers. People are asked to bring a long stick candle. In downtown Sarasota, an incredible show of support last night. Thousands gathered at 5 Points Park for a candlelight vigil in honor of the victims. A friend of Sarasota resident Eddie Sotomayor, one of the first victims identified on Sunday, gave an emotional speech, as did Sotomayor's employer. Many who attended Monday night's vigil hope a message of support and healing reaches those who live here and beyond.
And now shifting gears to our forecast, let's head over to Bob on another very hot day.
Yes, you got that right, Haley. I'll tell you what, temperature's a little bit cooler than yesterday at this time. We had a heat index about 104. Now it's down to a cool 97. If you factor in that humidity with the temperature now at 90 degrees, lots of sunshine near the coast, the humidity at 55%. We have a west wind at 10. That sea breeze has indeed developed. And notice only a few isolated cells developing mainly east of I-75 this afternoon. And most of that has been moving generally to the north with a south to southwesterly flow. Not much moving off to the west at this time. And the rain is not sticking around all that long because of some very dry air in the atmosphere. This has kind of released an outflow boundary, and you can see a cell has popped up as a result of that outflow boundary. You can see that right there. That is moving off to the west. We can see some other cells popping up here and there as this continues to collide with that sea breeze. Well, more in our forecast. Let you know about our rain chances. They'll be increasing as we approach the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Sarasota County is the subject of a lawsuit, this time for voting to privatize one of the last stretches of beachfront roads in the area. Last month, commissioners voted in favor of vacating the rights to a section of beach road on the north end of Siesta Key. The move will allow homeowners along the roadway there to demolish and reconstruct a property where the road currently sits. A lawsuit has been filed to prevent the change from taking effect. Those in opposition say the move will limit the public's access to the beach.
This is the only stretch of road on Siesta Key that you can drive down and actually know that you're on an island unless you're going across the bridge. All of our water views have slowly been taken, and this is the only one that's left. And if we don't act, it's going to be gone forever.
County was unavailable to comment on the lawsuit. Those in opposition of the change have created the website reopenbeachroad.com to garner more support.
Tonight, the Manatee County School Board will discuss a settlement offer for a former Manatee High School principal and assistant superintendent. The board is expected to decide on the $400,000 settlement agreement for Bob Gagnon. The offer relates to Gagnon's dismissal from the district during the Rod Frazier child abuse investigation. Gagnon has already signed the agreement. If the board approves it, it will end the litigation between the two without either side admitting liability.
ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with news of a second straight down day on Wall Street. Richard?
Scott, you're exactly right, but if there are moral victories, I'm pleased to say that we did finish 80 points above the low of the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down about 11:30 this morning by 136 points. We did certainly come back from that. The fear of, guess what? The Fed meets today and tomorrow. Their announcement will come at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and many people, including yours truly, will be shocked if the Fed raises interest rates tomorrow. But of course, it could happen. Also, the VIX, the volatility index, the highest level we've seen since February. A lot of the reason the market has been down 2 days in a row. Let's take a look at the closing numbers. There you see the Dow is down almost 58 points, 1/3 of 1%, closing at 17,674.82 on volume of 687 million shares. The NASDAQ, the smallest loss of the day, 1/10 of 1%, less than 5 points at 4,843.55. That on volume of 1,648 million shares. The S&P down as well, down 3 3/4 points, not quite 2/10 of 1% at 2,075.32. Well, with all of the depressing news coming lately, maybe it's time for a story that makes you feel a little bit better. JetBlue, which is based in New York, but of course has a big presence in Orlando, said it will fly at no cost all immediate family members and partners, domestic partners, of anyone involved in the shootings in Orlando. They will also allow people who are planning to go in and out of Orlando to change their flight reservations without a service fee. That, again, a concession. People who are frightened to be in Orlando are allowed to change their reservations without any fee. And certainly in this day and age when corporate America gets called to the carpet all the time, it's really very nice to see a company like JetBlue step up to the plate and help people in their time of need.
And it's a small thing, but it means a lot to all these
surely
families.
does.
And Richard, news on Whole Foods.
Yes, not good news. Unfortunately, Whole Foods has received a letter from the FDA talking about some of the sanitary conditions at one of their distribution centers. And Whole Foods has yet to comment or have any response, but that's expected probably by no later than tomorrow.
Richard, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome, Scott.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, thousands of dollars in repairs for a vacant community center in Manatee County. We'll have details on a summer program that will soon get underway for kids in that area.
And later in Health Smart, a blood test that may be able to detect an early stage of Alzheimer's disease.
The all-new official Suncoast forecast, only on ABC 7.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
I'm Dale Mast, and we're celebrating 40 years on the west coast of Florida.
It's our 40th anniversary, and it's time for a celebration, the Culligan Hydration Celebration. For a limited time, celebrate by taking $250 off any Culligan home system. That's $250 off Culligan water softener systems, drinking water systems, or whole house water filters. Help us celebrate our 40th anniversary, and remember,
for better water, pure and simple, call today and say, "Hey, Culligan man."
That's Chuck, proud homeowner, regular do-it-yourselfer. Today he's attempting an electrical repair. This is Pablo. He's an electrician with Mr. Sparky. How's he doing, Pablo?
Terrible, Mike.
Yeah. What Chuck doesn't realize is that almost 68,000 home fires are caused every year by electrical problems.
What?
If he doesn't have the proper tools and training, he's liable to start the next one.
Little help here.
That's what I'm talking about.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
You might want to write that number down.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Florida Studio Theater presents the fabulous Lipitones, now held over by popular demand. A high note leaves the Barbershop Quartet without their 4th member just before the national competition. What ensues is a comedy of misunderstanding, stereotypes, and the path to perfect harmony that critics say has laughs galore and gets right to the heart. Buy tickets now by calling 941-366-9000 or visit floridastudiotheater.org.
A community center in Manatee County that has sat empty for 3 years now will open its doors this summer.
Manatee County will reopen the Rabonia Community Center for a youth drop-in program that will run June 20th through the 29th. The county has been working with the Rabonia Community Association to provide activities for kids like reading programs, field trips, and recreational activities. Crews have been fixing up the building. County commissioners approved spending $75,000 to renovate it by adding a new AC, windows, plumbing, furniture, roof repairs, and a baseball field.
Better in school. Playing and dancing and rapping. That's why we cool.
Talk about summer fun. Some Suncoast kids recently put together this music video called Let's Play. They submitted it to a contest in hopes of winning a $20,000 grant for new playground equipment for Samoset's Oasis Community Center. Oasis focuses on youth in troubled neighborhoods by providing tutoring, mentoring, and life skills for kids. Oasis's current playground is more than 30 years old and needs to be updated. A Let's Play video from Oasis was named as a top 10 finalist over the weekend, beating out other videos submitted from neighborhoods across the nation. Voting for the best video will continue until June 24th. We hope they can win and get that new playground. You can tell it's
It needs
old.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did a great job.
They sound great.
They do. And the word, the lyrics, really creative.
Yeah,
Gets the
absolutely.
message out. Yeah.
I hope they win. I'll tell you what, it looks like a pretty good day for playing outdoors, although you have to drink a lot of fluid to stay hydrated in this kind of situation, especially try to limit the activity in the afternoon hours, say around from 1 to 4 o'clock. Yeah, it's tough going there. A little hose of squirting down, not too bad of an idea if you can't find a pool. On Lakewood Ranch, your webcam showing some clouds around, some fair weather cumulus clouds, a few isolated inland storms. That's been about it today. Not many of those afternoon showers to cool us down. And you can see from the Lakewood Ranch webcam, there's some darkening skies off in the distance, but not a lot of rainfall. The rain that did fall, obviously, was pretty heavy at times, but it didn't stick around long. That's because of this dry air. Once these storms start to build into the upper levels, 30, 40,000 feet, it runs into this dry layer, and that dry layer kind of shuts the storm down as a result of that. And we can see that happening today as these storms are progressing to the north. They rain themselves out for the most part, and now the outflow boundary has kicked off a couple of showers right along Manatee Avenue and State Road 64. You can see that activity right there just to the east of Waterleaf, and those are pushing off to the west. Elsewhere, Sebring, just to the north, some showers there, but really not much going on considering what time of year we're in right now. And normally we see a pretty good deal of storms stacked about as a result of the sea breeze interaction. As far as the flood warnings go, they're still out there for the Myakka River at the Myakka State Park. That's in effect until Friday. There's some minor flooding taking place also at the Peace River into DeSoto County. There's some rainfall amounts. Over an inch of rain fell with that shower that was right over parts of East Manatee County, but not much going on near the coast. All is quiet right now, but what we are looking at is the potential for a trough of low pressure to come down over the weekend and then set up with a west to southwesterly wind flow, which will start to tap into this moisture again. It will come up from the tropics and be in place, and so the storms will be a little bit more widespread. It doesn't appear that it's going to be a washout over the weekend, but the storms that do pop up will be rather intense rainmakers once again, and it looks as though we don't expect anything tropical to develop, although the models are kind of confused as to what may be going on Monday and Tuesday of next week, so we'll keep a close watch on that. 90 degrees right now. Heat index has come down a little bit. It's at 97. The dew point temperature at 72. Yesterday the dew point was up to 76 degrees, so the winds are out of the west at 10. The pressure falling slightly at 29.97 inches. Tallahassee, the hot spot today, and 96 in Jacksonville. It's 94 in Orlando, and temperatures right near the coast into the mid 80s there, into the upper 80s to low 90s inland. 91 at Lake Placid, 90 in Northport, and 89 in Lakewood Ranch. Braden, you're at 88 degrees. Well, the forecast model projection showing limited activity again overnight. We will see more storms tomorrow afternoon scattered into the eastern portion of our viewing area and then spreading off to the east. But by Thursday, we'll start to see this trough come down, and it'll give us a little bit better chance for showers. I think more so, though, as we head into Friday and the weekend. For tides upcoming, high tide for Sarasota Bay, 10:11, and a low tide will be at 3:47 in the morning. The forecast for boaters tomorrow looks to be pretty good. A light chop out there in the bays and inland waters, southwest winds. The water temperature now at 85 degrees, and the UV index will stay high at a 9. Inland storms this evening, then ending partly cloudy skies, 76 for a low. Tomorrow, look for a 20% chance for a storm. Not much. Heat index staying high, though, 100 to 105 with a west wind. It always makes it feel a little bit warmer out there. And mainly inland storms tomorrow. The extended forecast calling for a good chance for showers and storms as we move into Friday and continue right in through Father's Day. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Checking Suncoast Traffic Watch. There's no crashes in the area right now, but traffic is a little bit backed up in the Sarasota area. This is in the area of US 41 and Fruitville Road. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, researchers say they have developed a blood test that detects an early stage of Alzheimer's. The test was developed by researchers at the Rowan University School of Osteopathic Medicine and Durin Technologies. Researchers analyzed blood samples from more than 230 people, including some with an amyloid beta peptide in their cerebrospinal fluid, which is an indicator of Alzheimer's pathology in the brain. They then identified the top 50 autoantibody biomarkers capable of detecting early-stage Alzheimer's. The biomarkers were 100% accurate in distinguishing patients with mild cognitive impairment due to Alzheimer's versus other causes. A study that shows long-term marijuana use may change how your brain responds. Researchers found that people who had used marijuana for 12 years on average showed greater activity in the brain's reward system when they looked at pictures of objects used for smoking marijuana than when they looked at pictures of a natural reward like their favorite fruits. This study shows that marijuana disrupts the natural reward circuitry of the brain, making marijuana highly important to those who use it heavily. Coming up next, a famous Sin City landmark reduced to rubble, why crews are taking down the famous Riviera Hotel Casino. And a little boy sees a big need at a hospital, how he's helping other young patients. That's coming up next.
ABC 7's Pump Patrol, a list of the Suncoast's cheapest gas on mysuncoast.com.
Did you know you can make an instant harness by simply wrapping the leash around your dog's chest and up through their collar? Contact Canine Corral today about a no-pull harness that will make you smile. Canine Corral, where the love is.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month, complimentary maintenance included, at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
A large warehouse fire knocks out power to more than 4,000 people in California. Witnesses heard at least 3 explosions from the building early this morning. More than 100 firefighters were called to the scene to battle that fire. Some power lines and poles were burned, causing that massive outage. Fortunately, no one was hurt. After 61 years, the iconic Riviera Hotel in Las Vegas is now a thing of the past. Sin City bidding farewell to the hotel with a goodbye event that literally brought the house down. After a fireworks display, crews imploded the 24-story Monaco Tower at the shuttered Hotel Casino. The historic hotel opened back in 1955, once drew stars like Frank Sinatra and Elvis. It was raised to make way for an expansion to the city's convention center.
In honor of Flag Day today, a giant American flag balloon was inflated in Hoboken, New Jersey. The flag is 53 feet tall, 78 feet wide, and 29 feet from the back, and it weighs about 530 pounds. Look at that thing. The balloon is sponsored by PNC Bank and is part of the Quick Check New Jersey Festival of Ballooning. That festival takes place July 29th through 31st in Reddington, New Jersey. Pretty cool. A 10-year-old California boy is leading a crusade for toy lovers everywhere. Caden Hoban suffers from kidney disease, and he's been in and out of the hospital for most of his life. During a recent stay at the hospital, he went to grab a toy from a toy room and saw that the cabinet was nearly empty.
I feel pretty bad for most people that don't have a lot of stuff to choose from. So I thought, why not do a donation?
Caden took action and started a toy drive at his school, and the results speak for themselves. Caden has received hundreds of toys and cash donations. He's hoping to make this drive an annual event.
Look at that.
I love
bright
when,
little boy.
Yeah, I love when kids already know at that age to take the initiative to help other kids.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, still to come in your Suncoast News, the lasting problems from Colin.
How much damage the tropical storm caused to beaches here on the Suncoast. That story is next.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow-smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
The home at 14 Green Street. The showing. The butterflies. The papers. The crunching of numbers. The offer, the counter, the poker face, the impasse. Finding the happy place. The compromise. The closing of loopholes, the ironing of wrinkles, the signing, the shake, no, the hug. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
Discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get America's best value, a new Grand Caravan for just $18,999 or a new Dodge Journey for just $16,999. Stop by today to shop the area's biggest selection of Ram trucks and save up to $8,000 on your new Ram. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Pomero Shop Furniture. After 66 years in Sarasota, we're still the leader in hard-to-find and custom-made furniture. We have literally thousands of fabrics and patterns to choose from, and our free in-home design consultation will help you create rooms in your home specific to your unique style. Our inventory changes daily, so come in today to see what's new. Plus, anything in our showroom can be part of your home the very next day. Pomero Shop Furniture, now with 3 locations.
Florida Studio Theater presents the fabulous Lipitones, now held over by popular demand. A high note leaves the Barbershop Quartet without their 4th member just before the national competition. What ensues is a comedy of misunderstanding, stereotypes, and the path to perfect harmony that critics say has laughs galore and gets right to the heart. Buy tickets now by calling 941-366-9000 or visit floridastudiotheater.org.